What's up, YouTube? It's Pelfrey, and this is the Red Sea Reefer 250. The corals are still on the frag rack. I'm going to work on some placement on that here shortly. But as I mentioned in the previous video, we weren't done. And basically, we got a little Harlequin shrimp, little bitty fella. Let's see. Here we go. We got some movement in here. These were from Harry's Marine Life, I think. I will link the website in the description below. Did do some fact checking real quick, and it is in fact Harry's Marine Life, and this was suggested by Caffeinated Reefer on Instagram. So I picked one up, bought it. When did I buy this? Yesterday, maybe? And then it was shipped from California to Kentucky. No issues on this shipment. I was worried about after the issue with the corals being, delayed over 24 hours that the Harlequin shrimp was going to be delayed as well. Since I was buying one Harlequin shrimp, and I'm going to end up paying, the $20 or $30 to ship it, whatever that price was. I also bought a yellow chorus wrasse. That wrasse has already been added to the tank. I'm pretty sure that guy went back in the back of the tank, buried himself deep into the sand. So we will see when he comes out. Sometimes these wrasses, if you aren't familiar, sometimes these wrasses will bury themselves and you will not see them for a very long time. So my hope here, obviously with the Harlequin shrimp, is to start taking care of these Astrina starfish, if I can get a little focus there, because they, again, I've mentioned this before, but the population has exploded. See if I can get some focus there. The population has exploded. And obviously, the next concern is this Astrina, this Harlequin shrimp is going to be a fixture in this tank for a very long time. So how am I going to continue feeding this shrimp? So number one, it's a small Harlequin shrimp, so I'm hoping that works out into my favor. With the population of starfish in the tank, I'm hoping, I don't really know yet, I'm thinking that that's enough food in the tank to sustain the Harlequin for a pretty long time, just by judging from the size. And I could be completely wrong. This thing might eat 50 of them a day. I have no clue. But also, as long as I keep them on the glass, the Harlequin cannot get to them on the glass. So if I keep some on the glass, I can knock them off here and there, and that will feed them. But I do also, since I have them in the sump, what I may do is I may very well pick some of them off the tank here and drop them into the sump section and just kind of use that as a little breeder box. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but obviously my first concern here is anything I'm adding to the tank, I want to be able to sustain it. I don't want to put it in a tank and then make anything starve to death. That is cruel, and it's not at all what I'm about. So, yeah, I know it sounds, like I said, counterproductive, but as long as I can get the majority of the Astrina starfish out of the display, we'll be in good shape. The good news is I got the Harlequin shrimp in the tank. The bad news is I have no clue where that little sucker went. I mean, he's a teeny tiny shrimp. I'm going to do a little picture here. Whenever I added him to the tank, I used a white cup, and I had him in the cup, and I just wanted to see what he was doing, yada yada. I walk away from the tank for just maybe 30 seconds, come back, he's out of the cup, and he's like over in this area right here. And then now I don't know where he's at, but this little crocus snail down here is, or it's a, I don't know what that is. That's some type of crab. So yeah, I have no clue where the Harlequin shrimp went. So I'm about to take the lid off the tank now. I'm going to do some rearranging of some corals and finally give some attention to that bird's nest right there. Try to get these off the rack. That leather right there is probably just not happy. It's getting hammered from direct flow from over here. And I know in a previous video I mentioned that I had no clue what happened to the other colony of zoanthids that I had over here. And I've done a little bit of research over the last hour or so. Apparently Astrina starfish could be the reason that that zoanthid colony is gone. I don't know, it's very strange. And then I started thinking about it, and I don't know this for sure, but I thought to myself, I was like, well, the Astrina starfish on the glass are probably safe because it's a shrimp. Well, it's been so long since I've had shrimp in this tank that, you know, shrimp can actually swim. So I'm hoping that the Harlequin is just, you know, hiding somewhere right now. Probably be a day or so before I actually see them. Hopefully that's how this works. This is a perfect opportunity also to address getting this cleaned up. It's terrible. Terrible. Obviously the tank is super cloudy. I actually took some time to scrape the overflow box the best that I could, and around some of the corners of the tank. I got the frags moved off of the frag rack. Look at this guy. That yellow chorus wrasse came out to play. Beautiful fish. Beautiful. I got the bird's nest moved. Actually had to do a couple different pieces. Broke off a piece of this digitata here. It's very weird reaching into the tank and having to pay attention to your surroundings as you're moving around. Otherwise, you're going to snap a piece of coral off. This is pretty much the graveyard up here. These small pieces were the bird's nest that the hammer coral killed. This is really what's left of this. If I can get it to focus. Really what's left of a green slimer frag. This piece is, once again, all but gone. I do have one little piece of green slimer left. It is right there in the middle of your screen. But, you know, happy with where I'm at. I'm gonna get the right Tunze pump cleaned, get it thrown on the tank, get the left one pulled out of the tank, and get it cleaned up and on. I did move the Recordia mushrooms to the front of the tank. They've lived their life back here for like a year now. And since they're in the tank, I might as well just, you know, make them visible, I guess. Did put the leather back here. I don't know if that's where it's gonna permanently stay, but I figured that was one of the best places for some low-ish flow. Finally, after looking for the Harlequin shrimp for about 7 hours, I happen to walk past the tank and I look in. There he is. He's actually on an Astrina starfish. Did I say that correctly? And he's already just going to town on the starfish. So it was very cool to see. I'm glad to see that he's out and moving around and alive. I'm telling you, this thing is super, super tiny. So I really did not know what was, you know, what to expect. I really thought that I wouldn't see him for a couple of days. And it's amazing. I can only imagine those that have 300 and 500 gallon tanks. You have to lose stuff all the time, and I have a little bitty tank, so I was thrilled to see them. Have to always show the huge Trocus snail. I mean, this thing it's abnormal. It's very, very large. But again, so very excited to see the Harlequin shrimp out and about. I can sleep better tonight knowing that he's made it. So that's it, folks. I actually got a lot done on the tank today. As you know, I cleaned the Tunze pumps. I actually did a 10-gallon water change on the tank also today. So very productive. You know, it's been a while since I've had my hands in the tank, and it's very exciting. It gets me kind of wound up again and just back into it. So as always, I do appreciate you following along. Be sure to check out the website at pelfrey.net. Check me out on Instagram at pelfreysreef, and I'll catch you on the next one.